Good afternoon, all of you. Myself, Kaushalendra Chaudhari, and today I am going to discuss about flower, reproduction in a flowering plant. Basically, I am a biology teacher, so today I am going to discuss about the flower and how a reproduction in flower, in plants take place. We have idea about the reproduction. It is a biological process in which a parent give rise a new offspring, which is similar to itself. Sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction you have heard about. Those who are in 10th standard, they might be knowing it, right? So today I am going to discuss purely about the sexual reproduction in a plant. So plant has a two part, vegetative part and a reproductive part, right? Stem, root, branches, leaf, these all are the vegetative part, right? Flower is a reproductive part, right? So now I am going to discuss about the parts of flower. So if it is visible to you, how to zoom? Okay, fine, no problem. So flower consists of four parts, four whole. That is sepal, petal, then stamen and pistil, right? Sepal is the green part, then petal is the bright, colorful part. Then we have stamen, which is a male reproductive part, and then we have a pistil, which is a female reproductive part, right? Now, when we talk about this sepal, they are the green leafy structure. The function is they protect the flower during bud stage. What is the function of sepal? It protects the flower during bud stage. Now, when we are talking about the petals, which is a bright colored, it attracts the insect, it has a sweet nectar also. Now, when we are talking about the stamen, it is a male part, so its function is to produce male gamete. Stamen produce male gamete. Then we call pistil, it produce female gamete, right? Now stamen has two parts, anther and a filament. Anther and filament. Anther produces pollen grain. Anther produces the pollen grain. When we are talking about the female part, it is a pistil. It consists of three parts: stigma, style and ovary. And inside the ovary there is a ovule. Inside the ovary there is a ovule, and ovule has a female gamete, that is the egg. Clear? Now, how reproduction takes place? We have categorized into three parts. First, before fertilization, what happened? Then fertilization and after fertilization. So before fertilization, what happened? Formation of gametes should be there. Male gamete should be produced. Female gamete should be produced. Then transfer of gametes should be there. That is the pollination. And then the actual event take place. That is the fertilization, the fusion of male gamete with the female gamete. Clear? So let us start about the gamete formation. Stamen produce male gamete. Pistil in the ovary, it produce egg, that is the female gamete. Clear? Now this gamete need to transfer from anther to the stigma. The transfer of gamete or the transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma is called pollination. Is it clear? Question can be asked, what is pollination? So transfer of pollen grain from anther to is called pollination. Pollinations are of two types: self-pollination and cross-pollination. What happened in the self-pollination? The pollen grain from the anther travel to the stigma within a same flower or between two flowers but on the same plant. Whereas in cross-pollination, the pollen grain transfer from anther to the stigma between two flowers on two different plants. Clear? Okay. Once the pollen reach to the stigma, when pollen grain reach to the stigma, then it will form pollen tube. Pollen grain will go to the ovule and then fertilization happen. One thing is missing: who pollinate this? Who pollinate this? We have agents of pollination. Wind, water, insect. Along with the insect, we have various type of other creature also, like some lizard, some animals, they also perform pollination. So basically pollination is done by two ways: abiotic factors like wind and water, biotic factors like all the creatures like honeybee and all. Clear? So they are called the agents of pollination. It has two groups, biotic and abiotic. Clear? Now the actual event that takes place here is pollination. I am not able to zoom in. Fine. So pollen grain will reach to the stigma. Now pollen grain consists of two cells, vegetative cell and generative cell. Vegetative cell and generative cell. Generative cell divide into two male gamete. Divide into two male gamete. The first male gamete will fuse with the egg. It is called fertilization or syngamy. We call it as a syngamy. And the second male gamete will fuse with the polar nuclei which is there in the ovule, and it forms endosperm. It forms the endosperm, and this is called triple fusion. We call it as a triple fusion. So basically inside the ovule, 2-time fertilization takes place. How many times? 2 times. We call it as a double fertilization event. We call it as a double fertilization event. Let me explain you with this if I am able to. Can I write this? Yes, fine. See here, this is ovule. In the ovule, we have egg, we have two polar nuclei, we have some antipodal cells. Okay, so now this pollen grain comes, it produces two male gametes, right? So first male gamete, here it is the egg, and this is polar nuclei. Polar nuclei. See, first male gamete, which is an, you all know, haploid, fuse with egg, and it makes zygote. It makes zygote. The second male gamete, which is another end, fuse with polar nuclei. Fuse with polar nuclei, which is already 2N. 2 nucleus is there. Can you see this? 2N. And one male gamete is going there, so it forms 3N, and we call it as a primary endosperm nucleus. We call it as a primary endosperm nucleus. This process is called syngamy, and this is called triple fusion. Hope this is clear to all. Right. Now what happens after fertilization? Once the fertilization is done, zygote will start multiplying. It will form embryo, right? And the ovule develop a seed coat, a tough layer. We call it as a seed coat. Now the seed is nothing but the baby plant. Seed is nothing but the baby plant. Clear? Now this ovary develops into the fruit. Ovary develops into the fruit, and ovule develops into the seed. Here we will have some integuments, and that develops into the seed coat. Clear? I hope this is clear to all. Any doubt? Shall I ask question 1 or 2? So question, yes. So this is the flower. I forgot to explain this. This bright color is the petals. Some have 5 petals, it is called pentamerous flower. Some have 4 petals, it is called tetramerous flower. Or if it is 3 or multiple of 3, it is called trimerous flower. Clear? Okay. So what is the male part of the flower? Stamen. What is the female part of the flower? Pistil. What happened after the fusion of male gamete with egg? What developed? Zygote. Very good. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.